event in direct selling history. So that's what It Works is all about. Now, here's what I get excited about. Every single person since Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, all day today, you know what I didn't hear? I didn't hear anybody walk up and say, you know what? I had it all and I decided to join It Works. Did you? Right? I didn't hear that. You know what that did for me? I mean, I've been sitting backstage, I've been sitting out there, I've been sitting in the audience with some of you, just bringing this all together, and you just feel one word that came to mind, and that's encouraged. I'm encouraged about the future of It Works. I'm encouraged about your future. And I can tell you, when you get to the point where you make up your own mind that you've got belief in the company, belief in the products, belief in this concept that we're doing, and ultimately belief in yourself, you are not only just going to be encouraged to go out there and take on the world, you're going to be encouraged to absolutely change your life, change your legacy, change your family. Who's ready to do that in 2016? You know, sometimes when you get to a point, you do feel like, you know what, I have everything that I need. But what I get excited about, this last, we're calling them hot seat, this last hot seat panel before the grand finale, it's going for more. I want you guys on your feet, motivated. Give it up for Kyler Pentecost, Rachel Williamson, and Sherry Lynn Kyler.
We have a, opinion about our panel. We really think it's one of the most important ones of the day. But it's our opinion. Everyone's got it. So, when you get into It Works, you're here to survive. You're here to really meet some needs. You're here to get some things done. But I'll tell you the cool part about It Works is it's never done at just meeting your needs. There's always more here. And it's one of the most awesome and most difficult parts about what we do is always being prepared for more. Because God didn't bring you here just to get your needs met. He brought you here so that you could be blessed to be a blessing. And we're so excited about that. We're excited about It Works. We're excited about how we get to live. And we're excited to share with you what you can do to dream bigger, to go for more, to dig deeper, and to see the importance of all of that. So I've got two amazing, amazing women that they're world changers. They're absolutely brilliant. And the first lady I get to present to you, her name is Sherry Lynn. Well, so just to tell you a little about Sherry Lynn and her husband John, they were doing well when they found It Works. Life was really good. They were in ministry. They were always looking for ways to serve and to give and to do big things for their community. And it's really inspiring. The more you get to know them, the more you see that their heart is just for blessing. But, Sherry Lynn, you found It Works and you were thinking, I would really just like to fit into my jeans. Is this something that you do that for me? But
it's true.
You and John completely rearranged your lives to put this into the center. And can you just tell us, from jeans that fit, this started seeing more and more and more. How did this begin to be that thing in your life?
Kyler's not lying. I really did join. I stumbled upon It Works. An old friend from Bible college was posting before and afters on Instagram. And I had 2 babies back to back. You can get pregnant even when you're still breastfeeding the first baby. Sorry, that's too much. So I had 2 little babies at home. And so I just wanted my jeans to zip again. And so I wanted to try the products. I had absolutely no intention on ever selling the products. But what's funny is I joined just because it's $40 more, so I was like, why not? And it didn't take long for me to realize the potential. And what's funny is 2 weeks before I joined It Works, I was in my car just praying, God, just take me away and just bring in extra income. You know, I'm home with the girls. I would just love, you know, a way where I could contribute financially. Well, not really contribute, where a way that I had money I could spend. That was more what I was thinking. But, you know, we had a good life. You know, my husband had a great job, but it was still sacrifice for me to stay home. You know, we were a single income family, and I remember saying to John, hey babe, I think I want to put, you know, our 2-year-old in a little ballet class, and the baby, I'm going to put her in kinder music, and oh, I might put them in, you know, 2 days a week, little fun preschool, and I was saying all these things, and he looked at me and he's like, what envelope is that coming from? Because we did the Dave Ramsey envelope thing. It was his idea, we had to do it, but yeah, so all you that love Dave Ramsey, yes, that's what I've gotten to live on. So we would do the Dave Ramsey envelope thing, and he's like, what envelope is that coming from? And I was like, oh, I don't know. You know, and so I joined It Works, and then all of a sudden, I was telling my mom about it, my sister-in-law, my best friend, and they all just kind of seemed interested. And I was like, whoa, maybe I can, you know, make some money with this. And pretty soon, it was bringing in some money, and I could, you know, start the dance classes, and then I could go to Starbucks, not just once, but sometimes twice a day. And John no longer added up how much I was spending in Starbucks monthly, because he would do that because he's a math major and would show me how much we were giving Starbucks. But yeah, so I could go to Starbucks, I could go to Target and, you know, put things in my shopping cart and not start taking them out once I got to the checkout line, because my spending envelope was always empty, so sometimes I would pull from electricity, but then John would get that. So yeah, so I would just go to Target and I didn't have to pull from an electricity envelope. And then, honestly, it was probably my second month at Double Diamond, and I remember commissions posted. And John and I looked at each other, and our jaws dropped. And that was when I realized this thing was big. We have always had a heart for ministry. We have been on staff, college of adult pastors for 10 plus years, but we've always been on staff at a church, plus John works his corporate job. Because financially, we can never just pursue ministry and do that, you know, and still have our family, you know, and be able to, you know, pay for everything. And so it was then when I realized, oh my goodness, Lord, this is how we're going to be able to eventually walk into what you have for us. Like, I never thought it could be possible. And what's crazy is I thought I was a dreamer. I always would think, I'm a dreamer. But I never truly dreamed without limits until It Works. And I always say, It Works has given me more than an income. It's actually taught me how to dream. And for the first time ever in my life, I'm dreaming without limits. I believe sky's the limit. I'm dreaming bigger than ever. But the thing is, it's not just about me. It's so much bigger. I have a team that's now dreaming big. And so that's why I rearranged my life.
Don't you love her? Okay, so here's the deal. You know, you guys have been in like 14, 15 months.
Yeah, like about a year and a half.
A year and a half. And you guys are all in, and you're investing more now than you ever have, but you have more than you ever had in your entire lifetime. So why? Why are you investing more?
You know, the thing, what keeps me going is the future, and I get really excited about the future, because I always say, we had a good life before It Works, but now we have a great life. And these past 18 months, I have been able to give more, to live more, and to save more. And that is so huge. And I think about some things like a couple months ago, us being able to go to the car dealership and just pay cash for a car. That's not normal for most 30-year-olds. I think about it, my 1 year mark, when John looked at me and he was, I don't know, figuring out something, and he goes, Sherry, we have given more in our 1 year with It Works than we have in our entire 10 years of marriage. And we have always been faithful tithers and givers. That's huge. In 1 year, you know? And the thing is, we're actually able to live a life of financial freedom right now. And what that means is that we can give without hesitation, you know? And I think of one thing like Christmas. We've always come together with our young adults group and helped provide Christmas for a family. But this year, we were able to provide Christmas for 4 families by ourselves. We've always had a heart for the country of Haiti and sponsor a little boy, but now we can give like never before and partner with the agency, you know? And once again, it's bigger than me. Now my team can give more, can live more, and can save more. And there's moms coming home welcoming their babies. There's debt being paid off. There's missions trips being planned. You know, and it's all because of this. It reminds me of the Winston Churchill quote that says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And we're blessed to be a blessing.
So the next girl on our white couch is Rachel Williamson, and to know her is to love her. And you know, I know that you were brought to It Works because you and your husband are so special. Getting to know her and talk with her, her and her husband have been completely crazy, bodacious dreamers in ministry, in a way that they're like, how in the world are we going to bless the world another big way? And it's really awesome because they were taking steps and they saw nothing below their feet. Like walking on water type things. They were in Texas, they moved to Colorado. They went there to do something big to give back to that entire community. And they took on $30,000 in debt. They have a family. Things that would be scary. But they were like, we're all in. We know God brought us here. And It Works came into your life at the perfect moment. One thing I hear you say is, my cup runneth over. I'm overflowing. And I watch people come up to her and they're like, your cup runneth over. And it's like, that's not normal to say to someone. Would you tell us what that means to you? Because it's so special what God's doing in your life.
Yes, it is funny. I saw someone last night. She said, your cup is running over. And I was like, that is so weird. She doesn't even know that I'm talking about cup running over. But it's true. And we were, before It Works, we were in survival mode, you guys. It was bad. And this business brought us hope and relief. And I realized very quickly that I could make more than $500 a month in this business. And that $500 was supplying food on the table, but I was going to do a lot more than that. And that brought me into my first conference ever. It was here. And I remember your mom, and it was a life-changing moment for me, standing on stage saying to all of us, good people do good things with their money. And our prayer is that this business will bless people abundantly, financially, so that you can go change your world. And I took that to heart and I said, God, I want to be one of those good people. And I want to go change my world. And, here we found ourselves at an Ambassador Diamond in March of this year. And years ago, we lived in Africa for a time, and we served in missions there. And our dream was always to go back, but it's very expensive, obviously, to go there. So we just put it on the calendar. We're like, we're going April of 2015. Well, I went ambassador in March, you guys. That wasn't even planned. And so we fly over to Africa, and we get there, and we're home. We're like, oh my goodness, like we haven't seen these people in years. And, my heart was broken because there was a flood that devastated Malawi, Africa. And their homes were gone, and they were still so joyful, and they were happy, but they were all living in UNICEF tents for months. And Jeremy and I walked through those villages, and I was so excited to see them, but when I went into their tents, they had nothing. They had nothing to their name. It was empty inside, and I realized these guys work hard every day for $1 a day. They're never going to be able to rebuild their homes. And I realized at that moment why I went ambassador the month before, so that I could give back to the people in my world. And we were able to give abundantly that month and leave it there. Something we never did before. We were able to rebuild 7 families' homes. And that is a good thing. I just think of what we have now, and that how our cup runs over, to be able to generously give, to the single moms that live down the street who don't have a washer and dryer, that you can just go and you can purchase it for them, and just give it to them as a gift. Or the person that can't afford a car, you know their story, you know they need one, and you can give it to them. Those are things that you can change your world with, and we may not be able to change the world at a global perspective, but we can change our worlds that we're living in.
One of the things I take notice of is that always before when you gave, your family and you almost didn't know how to survive anymore. But in this time, you're giving more than ever, and your family is living really abundantly. How does that feel?
Well, it's amazing. You know, when we were chatting, I found my food stamp card, you guys. And I pulled it out on Zoom, and I was like, you guys look at my food stamp card. And they're like, oh my gosh. You know, and I'm like, it's a crazy feeling, you guys, to have to live that way. And it's not the American dream. That's not the way we're meant to live. And this opportunity is giving you a chance at hope and freedom. You know, and I don't have to run that food stamp card anymore. I don't have to go to Walmart and coupon and try to buy the cheapest stuff. I can go to Whole Foods, run my debit card through cash, and I can buy what I want. And it's awesome.
So there's one more thing that stands between a lot of people and their more, and I think it's letting the struggle overtake them. And letting them just say, you know, I already did that and it was nice, but I don't want to go for more because some things about that was hard. And there is a promise in this world, and it's, you know, in this world there will be struggles, but be of good heart because God's overcome this world. And, you know, this business isn't easy because life's not always easy. What do you do with your team? What kind of a mindset do you guys take on to say, doesn't matter, the struggle's real, keep going, keep on trucking?
This is good and it's deep, and I know that all of you can relate to this. You're going to face hardships in this business, but I brought my secret right here. This is my secret to success. You guys want to hear it?
I'm ready.
This is our team's success right here. It's on this little piece of paper, and I'm just going to read it to you. This is a true story, so keep that in mind. In 1911, there were two nations racing to be the first to reach the South Pole. The dangerous trek across Antarctica, which stretched 1,400 miles, and Great Britain and Norway were both determined to accomplish this amazing feat. Both teams had a good start when they arrived in Antarctica at the same time. However, Great Britain had totally underestimated how difficult the journey would be. Their leader would drive them to exhaustion on good days, and when the sun was out, they'd sit in a tent and complain about the weather on the bad days. The team from Norway, on the other hand, had a plan. Their leader said, in good weather, we won't go too far and get exhausted. In bad weather, we will get up and we will go no matter what. They traveled 20 miles every day, no matter what. Good weather, 20 miles. Bad weather, 20 miles. Discouraged, 20 miles. They just kept moving forward every single day, on good days and bad. The team from Great Britain, which would only move forward when they felt like it, and when the weather was good, eventually stalled out, exhausted and depressed, and they died there. Every single one of them perished. The team from Norway, with their 20-mile march, they made it to the South Pole. They won the race on the exact day they had planned when they set out. We march, we blitz, we rap, we repeat. We do it on good days, we do it on bad days, and we stay consistent. We march every day, no matter what we feel.
That's so good. All right, are you gonna march? Good days, bad days. We have one more story we wanted to share with you, and it's called Starfish. One day a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy picking something up and gently throwing it into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "What are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they'll die." "Son," the man said, "don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds upon hundreds of starfish? You cannot make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it back into the surf. He smiled at the man and he said, "I made a difference for that one." And, you know, if you sit here and you think about what more really means, it's about that one more starfish. You know, there's people begging and praying for these products, for this business, for you, just to put it into their lives, just to say something. Stacy Holwiger was up here talking about what Greens did for her daughter when she was unable to walk or talk. There's people that they're begging for a solution to $200 to $300 that might keep them in their home. We have people that are now making $100,000 a month that they were selling everything in their house just to survive and going to food stamp places just to pick up food. I mean, the reality is extremely real that we may not feel like we can change the world, but we can change it for one person, and that's going to mean the difference for that person, for coming into their calling, for finding what God had for them, for becoming more. And we have a message for some people out there because we think that there's a lot of you that needs to step up. Stop it. You're wasting an opportunity. And you need to go for more. So I want to talk to the person who's just had disaster after disaster hit their life. I want to talk to the person out there that feels like people have quit on them, nothing works, nothing's going as planned. Well, guess what? You were called here, and you were brought here for a reason. So don't quit. Press in. For such a time as this, God wanted to do more and improve you, and just because it didn't happen in the way you planned, those disasters may have already happened. But now you've got it worked. So put your focus back on, and put your blinders on, because we've got more to do with you. Shirley. We each have a little piece.
I want to talk to the person that stopped dreaming. But first of all, I want to say that you're not here by accident. I don't believe it was a coincidence. I believe you're at this exact conference, sitting in that exact seat, for what Kyler said, for such a time as this. And I truly believe there's people in here who have stopped dreaming. Now maybe you felt like your dream was too big, so you quit. Or maybe you kind of veered down the wrong path. Or maybe you don't think you have what it takes. Maybe you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your abilities. Take it from someone who struggled with learning disabilities their entire life, who couldn't read till their second time in third grade. If I can do it, you can do it. And last year, like you heard tons of us say, I was sitting in the very back thinking this was impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So what I want to say to you is I'm praying and believing that you're going to leave here and that those dreams are going to be reignited inside each and every one of you. I'm praying for new dreams to be birthed, and I'm believing that you guys are going to leave here and you're going to live those dreams out. You can do all things through Christ who gives you strength.
Rachel, speak to him.
I want you to know that you belong here. There has been someone in this room, I prayed for this. You are doubting if you belong here, and you do. You belong here. You are a part of this family. And we are fighting with you and for you, and we're praying for you. The second thing I want to say, and this is a much more simple tip here. Raise your hand if you've ever prayed, God, give me a runner. I know we've all done it. I know we have. All right. We've all prayed for it lots of times, actually. I want you to know that God has actually answered all of your prayers. Every time that you go out and you sit down at a restaurant, that family next to you, that was your triple. That cash register, that cashier lady checking you out, she's your presidential diamond, you guys. They are out there. Do not miss out on an opportunity when you have that gut feeling and you feel like you have to give that card out and you let fear hold you back. You might have just missed your runner. Listen, He hears your prayers and He's bringing you runners. You've got to be bold, be brave, run hard, be fearless this year, and you're going to walk across the stage on top 100. I believe in you.
Thank you all.